Hey guys, it's Miss Talk to Me DMV, aka Allison Watson, LMFT, and I'm here to talk a little bit about moon journaling. You guys may have seen this journal before. I know I referenced it in some videos that I did early last year, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about moon journaling and how you can use this to help with your emotional well-being. I like to carry a lot of different journals. I like to have a self-reflection journal, or rather a self-discovery journal where I'm prompted with a bunch of different questions. Those are the type of journals that really help me understand me as opposed to just freehanding it. I can definitely freehand when I got a lot of things on my mind, but when it comes to just my self-discovery routines, rituals, meditation, I like to have a theme. I like to have a topic, and I like to have some things that I'm focused on. And so I wanted to come and talk about this moon journal that you can get from Target, you can get from Amazon. My first one I got from Target, this one I got from Amazon. And it is called the Moon Journal, a journal of self-reflection through the astrological year. So that's the Moon Journal. And what I really like about this journal is it takes each month, it divides it into themes, and it helps you focus on those themes. It gives you different meditation practices, different thoughts and concepts to focus on throughout that month, and different ways to kind of use the moon's phases to manifest and to set intentions throughout the month. I know if you're a Beyonce fan, that one line in Black Parade where she says, I chose my crystals in the full moon. I got my crystals over here. You know, I always have my little healing stones. I'm always holding them during therapy. Depending on what we talking about, it will depend on what stone I pick up. But my go-to is my black tourmaline and clear quartz stone. And my black tourmaline, just straight black tourmaline. I hold that in my hand sometimes. But again, that moon, I love using the moon to just help guide me. Our moon is, a good way to understand what is going on with us when we're talking about birth charts and where your sun is, where your moon is, where your Venus is, where your Pluto is, where your Mars is, if you know anything about astrology. And that's a whole different topic that I'll get into later, but just understand I am not an astrologist. I am not a moonologist. I am just someone who likes to use it as a way to self-reflect, manifest, set intentions, affirm myself, and just really speak a lot of things into existence, right? And so if you hear anybody talk about, well, what's your moon sign? Your moon sign is really all about your emotions, right? It sets the tone for your emotions, right? And our natal moon, which is what's in our natal chart, it shows what house in our 12 houses and what sign our natal moon was in when we were born, right? And so that's what your moon sign is. And your moon sign describes what makes you feel at home, how you process your emotions, and how you handle your daily life, right? It's what is going on internally. When people talk about your sun sign, that's what goes on externally, what they see. So you talk about being an Aries, the sun sign would be the general concept of an Aries. So just general traits that the Aries would have, like, determination, just energy, being able to kind of get things done, being quick with it, being leaders, just a general sense. And then you got a whole bunch of different things that go into that, such as cusp, different aspects that you have in your birth chart. If we looking at birth charts, it goes deep. Anywho, getting back to the moon journal, which is what I'm here to talk about. This is my Diary of a Black Therapist. And this is what I use, y'all. I use this thing because it just gives me great ways of making myself focus on a theme for a month. The month, rather. So for Capricorn season, and we just started a new moon on January 2nd, 2022. So that's where I'm coming out a little bit late, but coming out to talk about the different ways to use moon journaling, as well as using the moon to kind of set intentions and put different types of things that you want to manifest out in the world, right? And so just to kind of give you an understanding, you know, the moon changes, or actually the moon goes through every 12 signs every 27 and a third days, right? So the moon rotates around the sun every 28 days, and it's connected to a woman's cycle, which is generally every 28 days. Just saying, ladies, don't be sleeping on the moon. The moon is powerful. But the moon goes through every single zodiac within its rotation throughout the sun every 27 and 1/3 day. And the moon goes through each, or stays in each sign, maybe 2.5 days, right? And so, or it passes through each sign every 2.5 days. So throughout that 27-day process, the moon has gone through all 12 zodiac signs, okay? And so being able to use the moon, right, and help you to focus on different areas in your life, that may help you look at different ways to focus on those areas throughout the year. So we have all these goals that we want to have coming into 2022. How can you be purposeful and span them out throughout the year? That's what I use my moon journal for. I'm going to come and talk a little bit more about what it means to have the moon in Pisces, what it means to have the moon in Aries, just to kind of break it down a little bit so you can know on what, you know, days of the month that you could benefit from doing specific things. So, for instance, right now the moon is moving through Aquarius. And I want to imagine that the moon will be going through, let's see, it's in Aquarius, it'll be going through Pisces next, right? And so I get this information off of mooncalendar.astro-seek.com. So this is how I kind of understand what the moon is going through, what astrological sign, or zodiac sign the moon is going through, and how I can use that sign to help me throughout those days, right? So, when the moon is in Aquarius, what the AstroSeek says is that your relationships with your emotions might be more complicated because moon in Aquarius has a strong need for emotional freedom. However, when you are in a group of people, it is easier for you to understand your feelings and free yourself from negative emotions such as fear, anger, and jealousy. Okay, so this is just the next 2 days, right? So the moon in Aquarius started today. Yeah, the moon going into Aquarius starts today and tomorrow. Today is January 4th. And tomorrow, Wednesday, January 5th. Those are the 2 days that the moon will be going through Aquarius, and then it will be going through Pisces. Okay, so even though it's going through Aquarius, we are in Capricorn season. And if you want to know what Capricorn season is all about, it's all about career and goals. And so in my moon journal, I'm going to read you an excerpt and talk about what it says and just kind of give you some information on how to use this book, or kind of what the theme of this book provides for that month, and how it kind of gives you some examples on what to do. So Capricorn energy helps us define career and personal goals. The goat wants to climb the mountain and reach the crisp, clear air at the top. For Capricorn, it all comes down to creating systems and structures that allows us to work at peak efficiency. Throughout this Capricorn season, ask yourself, What are your career goals? What are your plans? What systems do you need to streamline at work? Okay? And so this is a really good way of looking at what you want to focus on for the month of, or the Capricorn season. And the Capricorn season for this year is December 21st, which is kind of already passed, through January 19th. So we'll soon be moving into Aquarius, but it's not too late to get started because we just started a new moon. So how you use this journal is as such. When you start the new moon, you'll start to create intentions, right? This is what you do before you set the goal. It's important to know how you want to feel, and you must believe in yourself. As you craft your new moon intentions and goals, think about how you want to feel as you work, not just what you think you should do. For example, do you want to feel in alignment? Do you want to feel with ease, productive, enthusiastic, or creative? So be specific. And then you have the first quarter moon. This is when you start to implement your career goals. How can you do that in these next few days, right? So the first part in the new moon is, how do you want to feel at work? What are your work and life goals? And start to set those intentions. And then as you move into the first quarter moon, which will be in the sign of Aries. So remember how I said right now we're in Aquarius, right? Aquarius. The moon is the moon is in Aquarius. It's going to go to Pisces and next is Aries, which makes sense because it's the first quarter moon. It's when the moon is at the half full, right? So that's the first quarter moon. So that's going to take a few days to get on down to Aries, okay? And then so you can take decisive action on your goals. When you're in the first quarter moon, you can get ready to move forward and turn your intentions into reality. Not overthinking anything and just making your moves. And then when you have a full moon, you go out and you charge your crystals, okay? And you put them out there in the air and make sure that that moon gets reflected on them. Or keep them in your car and your windshield if it's too cold outside. But the full moon will be in Cancer at that point. And that's the time when when your success should come into full bloom. Take stock of your progress in this full moon cycle and over the past year. If there is room for more growth, take action on it. Now is the time to give birth to a new level of achievement. While Capricorn represents the traditional archetype of the father, Cancer represents the archetype of the mother. At the full moon, be a good parent to yourself while giving yourself paternal support and maternal nurturance. You can meet your goals and grow in just the right way. Okay, so you'll notice your small and big ways in which your career or life purpose has developed at that full moon. And then record these in a journal. And you don't have to be precise or critical, but be positive and encouraging so you can see what steps that you've made. And then the third quarter moon, that's when it's going back half, right? And kind of going out into a new moon. The third quarter moon would be in Libra at that time. And that can help you find balance by releasing anything that's making or taking energy away from your true goals. Use that opportunity to release any emotions, beliefs, commitments, or relationships that's holding you back from reaching the top, and make space for new direction. So take notes of any stumbling blocks that you have had over that last month in terms of meeting your career or your personal life goals, right? So again, this gives you a few pages to kind of focus on, right? And so I usually do this in a different journal. I just use this journal, reflect, and come back and write over the month about what's been going on. So that's kind of how I've used these moon journals, okay? So I have another moon journal that I'm going to go through, and I'm also going to come in another video and talk a little bit more about the different phases that the moon goes through in terms of the zodiacs and how that looks every 2 days, right? So if they're going through, the entire zodiac if they're going through the entire zodiac in 28 or 27 and a third days, right? It's moving rapid through all 12. Okay. So, I think this is very helpful for anyone that likes to kind of dabble in those type of things. Just for better ways of creating self-reflection, understanding, and this is my go-to for New Year's resolutions, just to get me started on the right path at the beginning of the year. So, to cap this off, let's talk about the moon phases, right? In terms of different areas that each zodiac sign represents throughout the year. So, we're in Capricorn season. That is career and goals. Aquarius season, hope and progress. Pisces season, intuition and spirituality. Aries season, confidence and leadership. Taurus season, money and self-worth. Gemini season, that's mindset and community. Cancer season, that's home and family. Leo season, creativity and fun. Virgo season, health and habits. Libra season, relationships and equality. Scorpio season, transformation and forgiveness. Sagittarius season, wisdom and travel. So these are the different areas that we'll be talking about throughout the year as we go through this moon journal. I'm going to take it out once a month and just talk about the different things that I'm doing for, or maybe not talk about the different things that I'm doing necessarily for the month, but just talk about the theme of the month. And then come back and reflect maybe mid-month at the full moon and talk about what I found and reflected on and things of that nature. And so I would hope that you guys comment, give me some of your feedback on whether you feel that this journal can be beneficial to you, or if you used it, or any other topics that maybe you would want me to discuss in terms of the moon and how I have used it to support me and my mental health and well-being and just self-care journey. Okay. I want us to be focusing on us in 2022, really bringing it back to the self. Community is great, but we can't support our community if we can't, one, support ourselves first. So I hope that you guys set some intentions for your career path for 2022, using the Capricorn season as the spearhead to kind of help you set those intentions by way of our moon. Our moon is here to support us, and there are things in this world that are we can't explain. And I just want to use the things that may be beneficial to me to help, expand my spiritual knowledge, expand my spiritual connection to the Almighty Most High. Yes. Okay. So, this is what I do to get there. Okay. So, I hope this was beneficial and helpful, and I'll be back at the full moon to talk about how I feel my intentions have been and whether I'm feeling like I'm, continuing to move forward in the goals that I set for the Capricorn season. I'll talk to you later, DMV. Make sure you hit me up. I'll talk back. Take care. Bye.